Get ready for a crazy week. I'll be covering the Isaacson bio on Elon as quick as I can get into it on Tuesday. But there's plenty else going on today and all this week. Crazy, crazy week. I had to multitask today in preparation and watch football, prepare this episode, and also get shipments of all your Cybertrucks ready for next week. So what a day. Okay. This is Randy Kirk. In case you don't know that, hit like and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notify. Subscribe and notify, because you're not going to want to miss any of the episodes of next week where I'm covering the Isaacson bio. You've also got Brian White coming, Brian Wong coming, and Larry Goldberg a couple of times, and maybe more than a couple of times, because he's at a conference, a high-tech conference right now, and he'll be reporting from that high-tech conference. Brian White is going to go to the Detroit Auto Show. I mean, so much stuff coming up this week. Okay. I think we could be in for a wild ride this week, as the Isaacson book is likely to continue to provide us with all kinds of content, and then also the responses to that content. So today, for instance, the Washington Post, no fan of Elon, eventually somewhere near the end includes this paragraph in their recent review of the book. And contrary to some of his most adamant critics, Musk really does seem to possess a remarkable brain for physics, engineering, and business, if perhaps not for running a social media firm. Whatever. That was me. Oh, Isaacson persuasively dismisses the notion that Musk owes his success largely to the inventions of others. Musk companies have thrived both because and in spite of him. Man, damning with faint praise much? Okay, anyway. But now, if you go back to the beginning of the article, and some people might not have gotten past this paragraph or two, here's what they said. Take a bright, exceedingly headstrong, socially maladjusted young boy and forge his character in an abusive, friendless childhood. For solace, give him only science fiction novels, superhero comics, and a cadre of young siblings and cousins to boss around, imbuing him with delusions of grandeur and a taste for unchecked power. If he survives that, send him to Silicon Valley during the dot-com boom. Give him a relentless work ethic, an addiction to risk, and a moral compass that puts his own interests and its magnetic North Pole at its magnetic North Pole. Add a keen eye for brilliant engineering minds that he can mine for ideas and push to achieve the seemingly impossible, while he hogs the profits and the credit. And then hope that he gets very lucky at pivotal moments along the way, so that his compulsive risk-taking doesn't blow up in his face even when his rockets do. Oh my goodness. I could take an hour to unpack how horrifically incorrect, misleading, and mischaracterizing of Elon that paragraph is, and I doubt very much whether they can substantiate any of it in Isaacson's book. But on Tuesday, I'll read it and I'll let you know. Turns out it's 688 pages. I'm not sure I'll get through it in a day, but we'll see. I'll be taking my best shot. Anyway, you can assume that there'll be multiple reviews, and some of them will take on every aspect of who Elon is. And I'm going to try my best to not only report on the actual writing in the book, but also some of these reviews. But what am I going to do with that last couple of paragraphs? That's just crazy. Okay. On to financial, well, I'm going to jump all around, but anyway, on financial news, household net worth rose to 154.3 trillion, up from 148.7 trillion at the end of the first quarter. This is an all-time record. Now, what does that tell you? It tells you what's happening. Where is the recession? I keep asking the question. I've been asking the question basically since I've started the show. Back in December 1st of last year. We've now got over 3 million folks that have watched the show. Thank you so much for helping us build the show. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you, but here's what they broke it down. A rally in stocks contributed 2.6 trillion in gains, or nearly half of the increase in the second quarter. Rising property values contributed basically the rest. Now you compare that to the first quarter of 22, which set a previous record high of 152.49 trillion, where household net worth was only up about 1.2%, or 1.8 trillion. Anyway, this is basically just an indication of, yes, the money has passed through the system, but there are still opportunities out there to make money in real estate, to make monies in the stock market, to make monies in the bond market, make money in the bond market. It's all happening. There's still, everybody's employed. We have, absolute maximum employment. It's just hard to get any more than you already have. So the economy's doing okay. So I'll say it again. Interest rates are high. They went up fast, but they aren't crazy high, but just about average over historical timelines. Moreover, consumers and businesses adapt. It is harder, however, for the government to react and to adapt. They're not going to cut their costs. They're not going to cut their spending. They're going to continue to spend like a crazy person. And that's not just the federal government, but state governments too. You might have seen the Chris Christie interview the other day, where he's talking about if he gets in, he's going to cut the heck out of federal spending. Well, that'll be interesting because no Republican or Democrat has done it for a very long time. Anyway, but the bond situation is like this. The markets, the equity markets, the bond markets, the banks, everybody are fighting over those same dollars. And there just might not be enough to go around. There rarely is. And so something has to give. We'll see what gives. And that's what I'll be paying the most attention to in terms of the next 3 to 9 months. What's going to happen in overall economy? What's going to happen in the overall market? Now, the good news is Tesla is pretty well able to weather whatever direction things go. Because why? Oh yeah, 23 billion in the bank and no debt. And plenty of flexibility in terms of increasing or decreasing their factory output. Anyway, if there isn't enough breaking news this week with Elon and the CPI, we also have the looming auto strike. We have the Detroit Auto Show, where Tesla may or may not be showing in a booth, or they may or may not be giving test rides, or both. We have the iPhone reveal this week. We have the imminent announcement of the Cybertruck handover. I really would be surprised if that doesn't happen this week. So, yeah, not much going on. Oh, yeah. Well, then there's all this reporting. So what about the financial reports this week? Let's start with Wednesday, because there's nothing on Monday or Tuesday. There's not even any Fed president speaking until the Fed meeting the following week, because they stopped speaking as of this weekend, and they say nothing publicly until the Fed meeting. So on Wednesday, though, we've got the consumer price index and the core CPI and the year over year, et cetera, all the things associated with CPI. Here's what's expected. The month over month, the consumer price index is expected to go up by 0.6%. Why? 100% because of oil. So that compares to last month at 0.2%. 100% of that is based on oil. Now, I don't know, I don't have the kind of systems that these guys do to see how impactful oil could already be. The oil prices have only been going up for about 5-6 weeks. I'm not sure this would already be in the CPI month over month. We'll see, and whether it impacts it that much. I'm hedging my bet that it might be a little less than this. The core CPI, however, which takes out the energy and housing, that's gonna be at 0.2%, they say, which is about the same as last month. And that's been consistent month over month over month, which is about 2.4 per year, which is very close to where trueflation has been for a very long time. So I think the core CPI is really, doing fine, and I'm hoping that the Fed gets that. Okay, then you have the year over year. They're showing the year over year at 3.6. Based on this month, and they're showing the year over year core at 4.3. Remember, this is a trailing indicator. That is a drop, however. The 4.3 is a drop from 4.7, so at least it's headed in the right direction. Might also be good. The Fed might look at that in good light. Okay, then on Thursday, we have initial jobless claims. They're expecting those to stay about the same at the 216 last week, maybe 220. But we've also noticed a lot of the numbers juggling around week to week, making corrections to the prior week, et cetera. The producer price index comes out that morning as well at before the market, so I'll be able to report on that. The producer price index is expected on the month over month basic index to go up to 0.4% month over month compared to 0.3 last month. And then they don't make any predictions on core or on the year over year information at all. No predictions. The core PPI has been at 0.2% last month. It has been very good. And the year over year at 2.7, I'm sure that the Fed is perfectly happy with that level, even though they like it a little lower, but that's got to be very, very good. Now, we'll see what happens here when they're not making any prediction at all. But The order books are not full in manufacturing, and a lot of this has to do with what purchasing managers for manufacturing companies and construction companies are seeing. So we'll see what happens. All right. Then we also have U.S. retail sales coming out that morning. They're expecting those to only go up 0.1% after the big surprise of going up 0.7% last month. Now you take autos out of that, and now they think that retail sales will actually go up 0.4% compared to the very surprising full 1% last month. I have no personal idea whether they're right or wrong. I'm a little surprised that retail sales of autos apparently are not as strong as they have been. So we'll see. Business inventories also comes out later that day. They're expecting those to be up slightly after being zero flat last month. We do want to see those inventories getting used up so that manufacturers have to start getting busy again. Then on Friday, you have U.S. import prices are expected to be up 0.3%. That would be a little surprising. Where would that be coming from? I'm not sure why they think. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It was up 0.4% last month. The manufacturing index survey comes out, and they're expecting that to be down 10 again after being down 19, or negative 10. I'm reading it wrong. Negative 10 after being negative 19 last month. So that is an improvement and is getting close to where manufacturing would be doing okay. Now that's the Empire State Manufacturing Survey. Then later in the morning, we've got the industrial production numbers expecting to be going up better than only 0.2% after they went up a full 1%. Full 1% last month. And then capacity utilization staying about where it was, just under 80 at 79.3. Consumer sentiment also comes out. They're expecting that to stay even at 69.5. This is their preliminary analysis. Anyway, we'll see what all that happens. That's all this. See, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a week. Who knows what's going to go on this week? Now, some are saying that the Fed is going to have to react to the Saudi squeeze on oil. So the idea is that they will kill the U.S. economy as a method to force oil prices down? No. That makes no sense. Where is the administration? They need to release from the strategic oil reserve. I read a little while ago that, in fact, they have been refilling the strategic oil reserve this summer. So it is time to release in a big way that sends a big message to the Saudis. This is not going to work. And they need to do it like Monday. I know the president is off in South Korea and off to these meetings all over the place. And supposedly he was going to have a conversation with the Saudis. We haven't heard anything about that. Don't get me started. Okay, so as I mentioned, truflation is still at 2.68, and that's basically where it's been for 3 straight months. So that is good, all right? So looking at the pre-market, we've got the 10-year moving up. I'm thinking this week that the 10-year is going to be all over the board as we get closer to CPI. I don't think it's going to continue to move up. I think that there will be a point at which there will be profit taking. There will be bottom feeding. Anyway, there will be people making new decisions with regard to the bond market. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be all over the place all week. The indexes are all slightly up. When I looked, that could have changed by now. Oil is down a little bit. This is good news. We're certainly happy to see that. So where do I see the market going? Well, you already heard. I think the market's going to be all over the place. I think that Tesla will tend to follow that market because there isn't any really specific news right now. Now, if we announce the Cybertruck handoff date, if they announce that they are going to show in Detroit, if they show in Detroit and the booth is mobbed, or if they show in Detroit, if all they're doing is offering rides and the line is around the corner for people to ride in the cars, or if they show there's so many things that Tesla could do right now, so many announcements they could make that would have the stock just like that. But we'll see what happens. Another thing would be how many cars have sold since they announced the Highland in China, in Europe, et cetera, in Australia. What is the order books looking like? I've got nothing on that. I can't find anybody that has any information on that. Anyway, I know I've gone long on this, but there was so much to talk about, and I still need to talk to you. So be sure you want to see that video earlier today, the one that I did in the middle of the day. I'll put a card right here. It was about Elon Musk and I can't even say his name out loud. Okay, you want to see it? I'll put the card. You decide whether you want to see it or not. All right. So the Cybertruck. Okay, the orders are just crazy. I mean, every single day, lots and lots of orders coming in. As I mentioned earlier today, I had one guy that had ordered 4, and he says, you know what I ordered those for? We're going to have a big, one of these Tesla owners days down in Beaumont, California, just about 15 miles from you, Randy. We're going to have this owners day. You don't even know about it, and we're going to give away 4 of these. Would you like to give a little talk, maybe at the owners meeting, and be the one to hand out the free Cybertrucks? It's like, hey, sure, I'll be there. I'll be happy to go. So these are promotional items. They are good for you. They are good for your neighbor. They are good for your friends. They're good for so many different purposes. Let me just run over it one more time for you in case you haven't heard yet. Some of you have never heard about the Cybertruck promotion of these promotional products until just now. They come in this little gift box, and it's really a nice gift box. And they're really, really cool because they're the same diameter as the actual Cybertruck. You can get it with the camo appearing method, or you can get it in the plain stainless steel. And when you order it, please say in the memo, in the notes, whether you want the camo or you want the plain, or maybe you want 6 and you want 3 of each. I just had a guy order 6. I've had several people ordering 4, 3, 2, because why? Because you need one for every place you go. You need one, for the refrigerator, one for the cabin, one for your RV, one for your boat, one for your plane, all of those, one for the office. In fact, you might need 2 or 3 for the office if you've got 2 or 3 snack areas where people are popping open their beers after work. Oh, or it doesn't have to be a beer. It can be one of those seltzer waters, in the glass containers. Anyway, $25 a piece. All right, really a deal, heck of a deal. I haven't had time to put it up on Amazon yet. So you're still getting it exclusively. You will be the first one in your block to get one. So $25. If you're not living in the United States, add $20 to the entire order. No matter how many you order, just add $20 for the extra freight to get it to where you live. And then if you, the information is down below in the description. You're sending it to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase. Apparently, if you use Randy with an R and Kirk with a capital K, if you do it that way, it doesn't work. It has to all be lowercase. I have no idea why. So anyway, that's how you order it. You send the money that way, and we'll take care of you. And then you can also use your Patreon membership to get one. If you are already a member of Patreon, you save $5. You have to be at the $10 level. If you're a member of Patreon at the $10 level, you save $5. You get it for $20. If you join Patreon right now at the $10 level, you get one for free. So look at all those opportunities. You also, if you don't want one, well, what a crazy idea that is. Of course you want one. Well, let's say that maybe you're willing to pay the $25 for that, but what you'd really like to do is hear the audio version of the Elon Musk mission or the Elon Musk method, which are certainly better books than this new Isaacson bio. Can we all agree on that? No, probably not. Okay. I've really enjoyed what I've read so far. I'm looking so forward to reading the whole thing. Anyway, if you want that, that's also, you can get one of those if you join at the $5 level. You can get 2 of those, get both of those if you join at the $10 level, or we have the other 2 books. The When Friday Isn't Payday, which is an entrepreneurial book, you can get that, or you can get the book on making money out of thin air, which teaches you how to understand financial statements, profit and losses, balance sheets, etc., in a very easy way, even if you're math challenged. Anyway, you can get any one of those 4 books when you join at the $10 level. I think I've taken up enough of your time right now. The Sunday night football is about to begin. I need to get this up. Okay, see you later. It's been great talking to you.